All right, questions. We got a lot of questions from Instagram. And the first one is, how long until you become parents? And the reason we're choosing this one first, it's like any minute. We are in California, we are at our carrier's home, and we are waiting for the baby to arrive.
Did you go through one agency for carrier and donor? Our agency is a small amount of donors. We used Elevate. They have both egg donation services. We actually got our first choice, and they have a team that specializes in surrogacy. For our gestational carrier, it was the first match. They will match you based on a questionnaire. The gestational carriers fill one out, and then we fill one out, and then they try to match you with people with similar values and what you're looking for.
What was the most unexpected part of the process? How much our relationship with our carrier kind of evolved. We wanted it to be very organic, but our carrier and her family ended up coming to our baby shower, and now we're staying at their house waiting for the baby to arrive. And that just speaks to kind of how naturally the relationship evolved over time.
All right, next question. How did you keep the relationship with your gestational carrier strong from opposite coasts? Innately, this is a very intimate journey that you're going through together. So you have a lot of shared experiences. We were there for the first transfer, which was really cool because that's when we all got to meet in person for the first time. And we flew out to California for the anatomy scan at 20 weeks. In between, we just had a group chat that we would update with the different fruits based on the gestational age.
Okay, here's a good one. What made us choose this route, the IVF surrogacy route, over adoption? We get this question a lot. Some of the questions are coming from a good place of curiosity, and some of them probably are coming from a place of, this is the way that you should do your family planning. We're gonna take this one in good faith and talk a little bit about our path to this point. We certainly considered adoption. It's something that we talked about at length when we were deciding that we wanted to build a family. We wanted to have a family that was biologically connected to us. We feel that because straight families get to do that, we should have that opportunity as well. It's a decision that we made together, and I would never judge anyone for choosing differently if they wanted to adopt.
I think we both wanted to have a family that was, if we could, be biologically similar to us, and I think that's okay. Oh, I like this one. Who's staying home and who's going to continue working? This will be a household that has two parents that will be working.
I'm gonna be a stay-at-home dad.
Absolutely.
He just doesn't know it yet. I mean, it's my dream. I really like my new job. I actually like work and my colleagues. I'm very fortunate that I get 5 months of parental leave, which I'll be taking full advantage of. So we will figure out how to make it work, who's doing pickups, but more importantly, I think having constant communication and figuring out what works for us in our routine. You wanna do this one together? Round 2, question mark, eyes emoji. Yes, definitely gonna have another baby, almost definitely.
Yeah, we want 3.
3? No, I don't know about that.
Who will be the more nervous parent?
Yes, it's gonna be me. I'm nervous now while we're waiting for the baby to be born. I've been nervous since we did the transfer. This is the number one question that we've got, and it's about costs. And then also if insurance covers any of the costs. How much does surrogacy IVF cost? Does insurance cover it? Listen, it's a lot of money. It's a very expensive process. When I was at a previous job, I did get really good insurance that helped us, that basically covered all the first part of the process, the first part being egg donation and IVF. Because we had that first part covered by insurance, it can be a little difficult for us to give one number. So that first part is a little bit of a black box for us. Okay, sorry, camera ran out of battery, so now we're in the car. The all-in number for the second part of the process for us is about $175,000. It's a lot of money.
But that includes the agency fee, and the agency fee includes the lawyer fees,
case management, escrow, the carrier's compensation, and then all the medical bills associated with the transfer. And any medical bills, co-pays, for example, for insurance.
usually you end up having to buy the health insurance for your gestational carrier, because most of the time insurance won't cover pregnancy if they're acting as a gestational carrier. But we were really lucky that Monty's insurance did cover everything, so we just had to pay the co-pays and any cost that is associated with the medications.
The first few ultrasounds, basically,
like
the ultrasounds that took place before she was transferred over to her own obstetrician.
OB/GYN, yeah. Flying her and her husband out to New York for the transfer. All those sorts of fees that they wouldn't have to do if they weren't doing this for us, you pay for as the intended parents. Okay, next question is, what is going to be the hardest thing you are going to have to adjust to besides lack of sleep?
Hardest thing to adjust to besides lack of sleep for me is lack of sleep.
I think also your lack of routine. You're a very regimented person who really needs his regimen to be a happy human.
But we'll have a little happy bundle of joy.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. And funny to watch. For me, I think that I won't be your number one. I'm going to be competing with the baby for your attention. But I know I'm
a close second.
Yeah. And I expect a lot of attention still.
I will give you lots of attention. Close second.
How long is the process from the initial conversation to welcoming your new baby? It's about 3 years.
But that was also because we took our time intentionally.
Right, yeah, we had our embryos
2 years ago. And then we kicked off our search in 2024.
Yeah.
2 to 3 months later, we had a match.
Transferred in December
of 2024.
Even though you match, you still have to go through medical clearance and psych evals.
So the direct answer is 3 years.
2.5.
Yeah, but if you wanted to move faster, in theory you could. How did you decide on who is bio dad for baby one? We actually made a video for this. We did a coin toss. Coin toss decided which embryo we were going to use. We each had 4 embryos, narrowed it down to 1 from each of those groups of 4, did a coin toss to pick which one it would be. We went back and forth about this for a year, about who should go first, and then we realized it really doesn't matter. And it was actually kind of nice to make a non-decision decision, because I think a lot of the whole part of surrogacy is there's a lot of decision making that you have to do, and sometimes you almost feel like you have too much control, so it's kind of nice to flip a coin. Have you signed up for daycare waiting lists yet? Have we?
Oh, I know, I hear it's bad. And we don't know what we're gonna do.
We haven't decided if we're doing daycare or nanny, but I've heard that we probably should have been on the wait list last year.
Months, yeah.
What was the most challenging part of this journey?
For me, personally, one of the hardest things is, as an OB/GYN, letting go of some control. Trying very intentionally not to micromanage the pregnancy. And I think I've done a pretty good job at that. We should ask Motzi what she thinks. But I think I've been pretty good about being hands-off and just being the intended parent and not overstepping. No, it's been a little hard for me just to keep myself in that, with that hat on, and not putting on my OB/GYN hat.
For me, most challenging, I think, is similar. Not letting go of control, but it's the lack of control. At the end of the day, pregnancy is a risk. We just have a lot of concern for our carrier. We hope that everything goes well, and that is the most challenging part. How long did it take to match with a surrogate? We did not officially kick off our search until June of 2024. By the end of July, Elevate had brought us our first match.
Okay, last question. How excited are you?
This is a good question, because I feel like we talk a lot about the process and we don't really talk about our feelings. And when we talk about our feelings, we just say, oh, we're so excited, or oh, we're nervous. I just have these moments throughout the day where I'm like, oh my God, this is happening very, very soon. It really started to feel exciting when we're setting up the nursery and opening clothes for him and washing those clothes for him. And even getting the car seat. Our little boy is gonna go in that car seat. And I just can't wait to hold him. I cannot wait to have him in my arms and to see Alec have him in his arms and to introduce him to our families. And I can't wait. That's how I feel. It's overwhelming excitement, and there's nerves there, but like, just cannot wait to meet him.
We've been wanting this for so long, and we said how much we've put into it, like time, energy, mental space, money. There's like really no word to describe like how ready, well, maybe ready is not the right word, but how ready and excited we are. Ready with a big caveat of like, no one's ready to have a kid until you have the kid in front of you. I think it's a little overwhelming, but I think one thing that kind of surprised me was like how much our village like really came together for us, and I feel so much love and support from our friends, from our family, like people texting us all the time, asking about updates, and just like wanting to be a part of our little boy's life. And like it like warms my heart and it makes me feel safer, and that makes me really excited too. Also, it'll be fun to have like Christmas with baby and Halloween with
Alec
baby.
is really looking forward to
really
the
want the
holidays.
holidays.
So we're probably going to take a big break from YouTube. If you want to follow along for our journey, we are on Instagram and we are on TikTok, and that's probably where we'll be posting most of our content. So see you in a little while.
Bye.
Bye.